It's not quite a ghost town down here at downtown Castle Rock. There's some businesses are open, but it's just this eerie feeling, with this coronavirus. It's kind of crazy. But I encourage you guys to, if you're going to eat out or do anything like that, to support local businesses that really are hurting from this deal. So. So in wake of the coronavirus pandemic, many businesses are significantly affected by this, and just wanted to promote to you a local business here in Castle Rock, Crowfoot. Here we got an Americano. You can come into the store and purchase a beverage. You can purchase food as well, but also they're delivering with this Coast to Coast. They're partnering with Coast to Coast. Encourage you to check out Crowfoot Valley Coffee. They are really good coffee and also a local business that we can support during this time. Once again, you can get it delivered by the truck to wherever you're at, your home or your business. So check them out. Super excited. Getting ready to do a Zoom meeting with Joseph Grams, who's going to join us today in talking about Joshua 9, 10, and 11. So context is really important here. This is the third time that I'm trying to do a vlog with Joseph Grams. The first time, I accidentally deleted all the footage. The second time, I recorded it, but there was no audio. Third time's a charm. I hope this works. It's gotta work this time. It does. Okay.
Alright, third time's the charm.
Third time is the charm. Okay, so for those of you that will be watching this on the vlog, this is our third attempt at trying to get Joseph Grams on the vlog, and I'm confident it'll work this time. We're using Zoom, so yeah, hopefully that'll work. But today is day 80, is it 80, I think?
I think you told me 81 yesterday.
Yeah, or day 81, depending, I'll correct it somewhere in the video. And we are looking at Joshua 9 through 11. Well, first off, thank you for being on the vlog. It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I really hope it works this time.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe
but,
the vlog just doesn't want me.
I don't know what its deal is. I gotta whip it into shape, So, but yeah, just what were some things that you took away from Joshua 9, 10, and 11 in reading these chapters?
Yeah. Let's see. Kind of like I was saying yesterday, this pervading theme of obedience. You kind of see. Well, you see it in every single chapter of the Lord's provision for his people and how he is faithful when they obey. I was talking about in chapter 9, verse 15, the Gibeonite deception. It says, "Then Joshua made a treaty of peace with them to let them live, and the leaders of the assembly ratified it by oath." And that's when the Gibeonites come in with their genius plan to deceive them. And you see this one inconsistency of disobedience. And in verse 14, it says they did not inquire of the Lord. And you kind of see how that, kind of like I was saying yesterday, but how that escalates into the sun standing still chapter, because then they have to protect the Gibeonites because they made an oath they weren't supposed to make, and that was not obedient to God. And so they go through all this unnecessary things, and you see how disobedience of God escalates for the Israelite people. But then you also see in the following sections and chapters how God allows them to conquer all these places. You can get caught up in the body count and the fact that there were no survivors and the deaths and this image of like a God full of wrath, but I don't believe that's what the book of Joshua is trying to portray. I really just think it's trying to look at God's faithfulness when we are obedient. And I believe that like these people groups were not being obedient to God, that the Israelites were conquering. And you see how God is faithful when the Israelites are obedient and when they are faithful to what God is calling them to do. I don't know. What did you take away?
What I thought was encouraging and interesting um, is in chapter 11, where in verses 10 through 15, there is this. It's mentioned a few times. This encouragement of obedience, just like you're talking, and the people following that obedience. Just as, like it says, just as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded, just as the Lord had commanded Moses, his servant, so Moses commanded Joshua, and Joshua did. That is just really encouraging, and I think, especially the day and age we live in today, we don't need a lot of flashy followers of Jesus. We just need faithful followers, and so it's cool to see the simple obedience and how the Lord was very clear in leading specifically, even step by step, his people as they're conquering the land of Canaan. And just like you said as well, you see the repercussions of them not doing that when they don't seek the counsel of the Lord and they make this covenant with their enemies who God wanted them to destroy, and the repercussions of that. And so, yeah, it's just an encouragement in obedience, and it's the hardest thing to do, but when we do it, there is a success that comes, not necessarily a worldly success, but one that is spiritual. We are blessed by the Lord, and that kind of goes back to the first chapter too of Joshua. But that was what really kind of stuck out to me. So
I forgot to ask yesterday uh, of you, since you asked me this throughout my 3 years of you in youth group. I was curious, how do you think these 3 chapters fit into God's plan of redemption?
ooh, man, that's good. As they're conquering this land, I think that the way that we see this kind of fit into God's overarching plan of redemption is really in fulfilled promise, fulfilled covenant. Like God is fulfilling his promise to his people here by saying, "This is your land that I'm going to give you." The promise that he made way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I think that's the kind of thing. That's the big thing that I see here is promise fulfilled,
Mm.
and how Jesus obviously is the ultimate culmination and fulfillment of God's promises, and we still have the promise of his second coming to look forward to and being in his presence. So that's kind of what that like them receiving their inheritance finally as a people, and that's how I would answer that question. And you can tell me if that was a good answer or a bad answer.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear it from you. It's good.
Yeah. So no, sweet.
Awesome.
Well, hey, thank you so much for jumping in on the vlog, and I would love to have you on more often. Appreciate your patience too. I'm positive it'll work this time. But no, man, hey, thank you so much for jumping in, and stay in touch. And if you guys need anything, let us know. So
Cool. Thank you.
yeah, I love you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks again. And
Love you too.
this will work. I hope.
Okay, I look forward to the post.
Right. Yeah, it'll happen later today. So
Sweet.
I'll be sure to link it to you directly so you can access it. But
Awesome.
all right, man. We'll see you.
Okay. Okay.